Hi, I'm Sam Hepburn. I'm currently a global community manager at Sneak, helping developers adopt security into their development workflow. Today, I want to talk to you about getting involved in open source community. First things first, why contribute to open source? Well, contributing to open source can be a rewarding way to learn, teach, and build experiences in just about any skill. Whether it's coding, UI design, graphic design, writing, or organizing, if you're looking to practice, there's a task for you in an open source project. It's empowering to be able to make changes, even small ones. You don't have to become a lifelong contributor to enjoy participating in open source. Have you ever seen a typo on a website and wished you could fix it? Well, on an open source project, you can do just that. Open source helps people feel agency over their lives and how they experience the world. And that in itself is gratifying. You can improve the software you rely on. Lots of open source contributors start by being users of the software they contribute to. When you find a bug in an open source software you use, you may want to look at the source and see if you can make a patch yourself. If that's the case, then contribute the patch back is the best way to ensure that your friends will benefit from it. So what does it mean to contribute? If you're new to open source contribution, the process can be intimidating. How do you find the right project? What if you don't know how to code? What if something goes wrong? Well, not to worry. There are all sorts of ways to get involved with an open source project. And here are a few tips to get the most out of your experience. You don't have to contribute code. A common misconception about contribution to open source is that you need to contribute code. In fact, it's often the other parts of the project that are most neglected or overlooked. You'll do the project a huge favor by offering to pitch in with these types of contributions. Do you enjoy planning events or organize workshops or meetups around the project? Like designing, restructure the layout to improve the project's usability. Enjoy writing, help improve the documentation of the project. If you like to organize, link to the duplicate issues and suggest new issue labels to keep things organized. If you do enjoy coding, you can ask to help write new features. If you like helping other people, answering questions about the project on things like Stack Overflow or Reddit is super useful. And if you like to help others code, review code on other people's submissions or write tutorials for the project to be used. Right, now that you've figured out how open source projects work, it's time to find a project to contribute to. Contributing to open source happens at all levels across all projects. You don't need to overthink what exactly your first contribution will be or how it will look. Instead, start to think about the projects that you already use or want to use. The projects that you'll actively contribute to are the ones that you find yourself coming back to. You might scan a README and find a broken link or typo. Or you're a new user and you notice something is broken or an issue that should be in the documentation. Instead of ignoring it and moving on or asking someone else to fix it, see whether you can help and pitch in. That's what open source is all about. Within those projects, whenever you catch yourself thinking something could be better or different, act on your instinct. Open source isn't an exclusive club. It's made by people just like you. Open source is a fancy term for treating the world's problems as fixable.